Well, here we are again, back to van life, and I thought I'd catch you all up on where we've been and what we've been doing. The last video that we posted was a finish up on the van tour, and I think we made mention of the fact that we had to leave the Shenzhen for the 90 days out. We had, ran out of time. And so we put the van in storage at Storacar, north of London, about 50 miles. And we'll have more video on that, I think, when we go back and pick the van up. So anyway, we came back to California, flew into San Francisco, and we've been doing a lot of family stuff, and we have caught up on some medical visits, and we had some security issues actually at our primary residence, and we took care of those. So it's been a busy couple of months, and we're really looking forward to getting back in the van. And that said, where we're going? Well, we're going to Scotland, and we're going to be there for 2 or 3 weeks. It's kind of open-ended, although we do have a ferry scheduled to take us across to Norway. But in Scotland, we're looking at Loch Lomond, Glencoe, Fort William, Mallaig, probably said that wrong, and the Isle of Skye, which, we've been doing our research, and this whole thing looks like so much fun. And the only thing I can tell you about Norway at this point for sure is Lofoten, and then we're going to go all the way up north, well above the Arctic Circle, to Troms. And so if you're new to the channel, we went, it was October 1st, we left California, drove across the United States to Baltimore, where we put our ProMaster camper van on a ship, and sent it to what was going to be Liverpool, and then the shipping company had some schedule changes, and so we actually ended up picking it up in either Antwerp or Amsterdam. It's one of the A countries. And from there, a quick trip through Belgium. We spent some time in France, November, December, but mostly Italy. We were chasing the best weather we could find. And you can look at our previous videos and see we just had a great time. The Italian coast, Sorrento, the Amalfi area. So that's where we've been. Came back through Spain, UK, and again the van is in storage just north of London. So the plan we talked about already, Scotland and Norway, then Sweden, and back into Denmark, and that should use up our 90 days. We've been packing, and it's amazing. We came back from Europe with just one carry-on bag. And for some reason, we're returning with 2 carry-ons and a checked suitcase, plus stuff we've had shipped to the car storage facility. So a couple of modifications that we've got to do. One of them, we knew when we were in the States that we were looking at a 220 issue in Europe for the hookup, campsite hookup current. And I bought a converter before we left. It's in the van. It goes from 220 to 110, and it's 2,500 watt capacity. So all that seemed pretty good. And my plan was simply to hook the voltage converter up, and then you hook the battery charger to it, and keep our lithium batteries up, and just run everything off the batteries. And then it occurred to me that with a couple of adapters, I could actually put the voltage adapter outside under the van, hook the 220 to it from the camper supply, and then our existing hookup cable into the switch, and you know, the automatic power distribution. So that was okay, but that's a lot of cables and a lot of monkey motion. So what I'm going to do is I bought another, oh, what is this? I know what it is, a port plug for boats and for campers, and then I've got an adapter from the port plug US to the European, and that gets the power through the van, so I can have the voltage converter in the van, not underneath, because I don't want it to get wet and I don't have to put it in and out. I'm just going to have to hook up one cord, just like I used to do in the States, and it'll run through the voltage converter, and the automatic switch is in play, everything's fine. The 2500 watts is actually okay. Our inverter is 5000 watts. But the reason for that is that I always like to have things well in need of well beyond our actual needs. So you could have a 2500 watt inverter and you're running 2400 watts through it all the time, and it just gets warm and it's not going to last. So, but at most we're using 2000 watts at a time. So I think that that will be fine this way. And so that's one thing. So I got to bring a hole saw, the drill, punch a hole through the side of the van. The electrical's pretty easy. We've also got a cooler that we brought with us. It uses ice and water, and it cools the bedroom area. Don't need it. So that's going to go up on the roof, and that'll give us more room, because my partner, my wife, has a whole bunch more shoes. She's violated the 3 pairs of shoes van life rule. So the cooler comes out, going to make a little shelf for shoes, the 220 110 wiring. Okay, we're back. I had to regroup on the shoes and the mods. So anyway, the other thing is that we're really trying to up our game relative to the van life and the YouTube channel. So we've invested in some new camera equipment, new lenses. So hopefully you won't see my fingers in the shots. You know, in the previous videos I was using my smartphone, which actually is pretty good. But there were some limitations. So new camera gear, some changes in the van, changes in the format, and we're going to experiment. We may have merch coming up. I'll let you all know. And otherwise, I think the next footage is going to be looking out the window of a jet airplane lifting off from San Francisco going to London. There we are. And so here's me looking at the new camera. It's a Canon EOS series, and I love the fact that we've got the top flip so I can see what we're doing, and it just as easily comes around to the back. Working on mic issues. I hope that we're going to be able to get through that. I thought the camera would really support an external mic, but it doesn't. So then, as you can see in here, we've been packing. Came home with one little black carry-on just there, and the vertical suitcase isn't going. So, you know, replenishing supplies. Can be some equipment changes, but all kinds of fun. The other thing is too, we've got a GoPro, so we'll be able to have 2 cameras running at the same time, and hopefully make some really good videos.